Hey, glad you can join me once again for another gear review. Today we're looking at this very nice guitar by Harley Benton. This is a Harley Benton CST-24T, and it is basically a PRS inspired instrument, as you can tell by the appointments. Now, one big difference between this guitar and some of the PRS guitars is the price. This guitar is very affordable. It retails for only $370 Canadian. And of course, you would have to add about another $50 in duties if you order this guitar online. But you can get this guitar in about 10 to 12 days or so. And I have to say, it's a real looker. So let's jump in and talk about this guitar and see what it has to offer. What does $370 buy you today? Now, I have to say that I was skeptical at first, and whenever I purchase a guitar or whenever I look at a guitar that's made overseas and is sub $400, I usually don't have big expectations on what I'm going to be receiving. But I have to say that so far I'm very pleasantly surprised with this guitar. Now, it's not to say that there isn't any issues with this guitar. There are. But, you know, let's jump into it and talk about it, and we'll get to those details as we move forward. Now, first of all, I want to say the guitar looks awesome. The finish on the guitar is very nice. There are very slight blemishes here and there, and you'll find them if you look hard for them. But honestly, they're so minor that at this price point, you know, I don't even want to mention that. But overall, the finish of the guitar, I'll bring it a little closer so you can see. Look at this gorgeous top. Look at it. It's really nice. It has a burst on it, and it has some nice flame. Now, the top obviously is not a solid top. It's a veneer, but it looks great, you know, and looks just as good as the SEs from PRS, I would say. One thing that is really nice, and you can see it in the reflection, is that the top is actually carved. And unlike some of the SEs from PRS that are flatter, this one has a really nice carved top. It's not as deep as an actual USA PRS, but it's still very nice. And I was surprised to see that. Now, the guitar itself has a lot of similar design features on. For example, the cut here is typical PRS. You know, of course, the top being carved, typical PRS. The shape is basically very similar. The layout on the knobs, even the back of the guitar. If you look at the way it's made, for example, the tummy tuck, nice feature to have. The guitar is a set neck, so it's not bolted on. Same way as you would see on the PRS guitars, same shape. Even the way the control cavity caps are carved is the same. So very similar. So, you know, if you're looking for a PRS guitar and you can afford one, this is a great option. So the guitar is also finished in a nice cream binding all the way around. Matching rings for the pickups. Very tastefully done. The hardware on the guitar, the pickups on this guitar are made by Roswell, and we'll get to those a little bit later. The bridge is a Wilkinson design, and I have to comment very positively about the bridge. Very nice. It looks very solid. It looks like it has some really nice mass to it. It's a six screw design. But there's nothing that sticks out here that makes you snag your wrist or your palm. No scratchy feeling like you can sometimes get on the older Fender style bridges. It comes with an arm. I still haven't figured out where the arm actually screws in. Apparently there's some kind of a way to actually screw in that whammy bar arm. But as far as I can see, there's nothing here to do that. So I have a feeling you will have to do it from the inside. We'll look at that a little bit later. The knobs are knurled metal knobs. Volume, tone three-way switch. Hidden in the tone knob is a push-pull pot that will basically take these two pickups and split them in half. The neck on the guitar, very nicely done. Now, I have to say that, you know, I'm not a huge fan of 24 fret necks, but this one plays very nice. The feel of the neck is quite nice too. It actually surprised me at how thin the neck was front to back. I don't know if you can see that here, but it's pretty thin. I would say it's a little bit thicker than an Ibanez, but thinner than what you would find on a regular PRS SE, depending on the model, of course. The neck itself is not rosewood, it's baked maple. Baked maple is basically maple that has been cooked so that it changes color and then dyed, and it gives you that rosewood look without the cost. Now the neck here, you can see it's not as rich as a rosewood neck would be, and actually it's a little bit dry, so a little oil would make that look definitely a lot darker, but still a very nice neck. Very flat. I would say the radius on this is extremely flat, but it makes it very, very easy to bend, and the frets on the guitar are medium sized. The inlays are not mother of pearl, they're just imitation plastic dots. So obviously they're cutting costs there, but no big deal. And the side of the neck is bound. The frets were not finished flawlessly. I mean, I did feel a couple of scratchy frets, but there was no buzzing at all, and the action is set rather low. Didn't have to adjust the action on the guitar. The neck radius and the neck relief was perfect. Very, very low action, easy to play, easy to bend the notes. A little bit of a couple of little sharp frets here and there, but nothing really major, nothing that you couldn't take down with a file very quickly. The nut on this neck is plastic. Of course, you can always upgrade the neck nut if you wanted to later on, but it's cut nicely. Not a big issue there. No buzzing again. The height of the slots are good. And if we look at the neck, the headstock basically is still a PRS design. Now the only difference is that they put a little center hump here instead of having just a little carved portion. But what I do like about this guitar is that they kept the strings extremely straight so that there's no break angle that causes binding. So the tunability and the stability is good. The tuners on the guitar, they're not locking, nothing fancy, but they do the job. Standard tuners you would find on most imports. The neck angle is not extreme. It's got a good neck angle. It's got a nice volute in the back of it as well. Now this is where they kind of cut corners. You probably can't see it because it's dark, but the neck is made of 3 pieces of wood that are glued together instead of one solid piece. It also has a neck scarf joint here. I don't know if you can see that. And I really don't care about scarf joints because they actually make the neck even stronger. Now the body of the guitar is mahogany, and so is the back of the neck. The guitar is heavy. It's got nice weight to it. It's not extremely heavy, but I do notice that it is heavier than some of my other guitars. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but you know, if you have trouble with your back, it's something that I do want to mention. So here is some of the cons when it comes to this guitar. Unfortunately, the guitar does have an issue. The issue is with the electronics. And unfortunately, the issue was the pickups. They basically don't work well. There's actually a problem with this guitar. And I don't want to say that this is, you know, something that you will get on all of your guitars if you order this type of model. But, you know, it is discouraging to order something that you really want to have work properly and it shows up with an issue like this. So I'll explain what the issue actually is. The pickups on this guitar, like I mentioned, these pickups can be split. But unfortunately, when they're not split, the output of the pickups is very low. The neck pickup that I measured with my voltmeter read 3.65K. That's half of what it should be. Both the neck and the bridge together were giving me about 3.2K, and the bridge alone was only 4.60K. So that's technically half of what it should be. And because of that, the pickups were basically very muddy sounding, very undefined and muffled. And so there's definitely an issue here somewhere. I don't know if it's just a short in the pickup somewhere, maybe a faulty push-pull switch, maybe the actual toggle switch. I don't know, but I'm going to try to figure it out. And I wanted to record some samples today, but honestly, it wouldn't do the guitar justice to play it when it's defective like this. So we're contacting the company and we're seeing if they can actually fix the problem for us and, you know, either send us replacement pickups or, you know, I don't know, work out something that we can actually get this guitar working and so we can do some actual sound samples for you guys. So I want to be fair and I want to just say that, you know, I'm sure this doesn't happen on all of the guitars. We just got unlucky and got one that happened to be defective like this. And it's a real shame because the rest of the guitar is really nice. I would still recommend the guitar, even if, you know, there's an issue like this, because you can easily swap out the pickups for something else. The pickups are Alnico 5s, by the way. Again, they're made by Roswell. I don't know who actually makes the pickups, if it's, you know, Roswell or if it's just a Wilkinson, rebranded Wilkinson pickup. But they are Alnico 5s. And I'm very anxious to hear what they're going to sound like when they actually work. But besides that, overall, the guitar is super nice looking. Little complaints I might have, if I really want to be picky, is like, you see the knobs, they're at an angle. That's just because the top is carved. Now, PRS gets away from this issue just by countersinking them and making them straight. But look, guys, that's being nitpicky. It's really, really a good guitar. Plays really nice. Sounds good in terms of the unplugged sound that I'm getting from it. I'll strum a couple of chords. I don't know if you can actually hear it on my lapel mic, but I mean, it sustains very nicely, even unplugged, and that's a definite sign of a good guitar. I feel the vibrations through the neck and through the body, and overall very impressed with what I have in my hands here. So guys, if you have one of these guitars or are considering checking out one of these guitars, I definitely want to hear from you. Leave your comments below. Let me know what you've experienced with the guitar, if you've had any issues with it, if you like it, if you don't like it. Overall, I give this guitar thumbs up. I probably will give it 2 thumbs up once we get the issue resolved with the pickups. But till then, I'm reserving my sound samples plugged in so we can actually get it to sound right for you guys. A beautiful guitar, guys. For $370, it's a steal. I definitely would like to check out some of their other guitars. They have some PRS guitars as well as Les Paul style guitars. And again, at that price range, you're going to be hard pressed to find something else that is not used in that price range. And this is a brand new guitar. And if it gets nicked or, you know, gets stolen or damaged or whatever, you know, it's not the end of the world. Definitely better than nicking or damaging a $4,000 PRS, that's for sure. So you're getting the best of both worlds, a very affordable, playable, good-looking guitar at a reasonable price, and what's not to like? Check it out. Go online, check it out for yourself. You can get more information, and hey, it's a steal. That's it for now, guys. In the meantime, if you want to be notified when we post other great video reviews of Harley Benton's or other guitars, hit the bell and you'll get an email notification that we posted something new. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, guys, please subscribe. You should be ashamed of yourself, by the way. Do it right now. But subscribe, because you'll be missing a lot of other great reviews. In the meantime, thank you for tuning in. Stay tuned and keep rocking.